I do think it's fundamentally evil to raise a child to think that God talked to Joseph Smith, that Joseph Smith is God's prophet on the earth, and that if you give your life to the church and serve it to your mission and give the church 10% of your income and get married in the temple and serve in the church, and like you said, none of that's actually true, but that's the reason why you're giving all your time and money and effort to the church, and you're unaware that all these gay LGBTQ people, these trans people are killing themselves, and you're unaware that women are being, it's not in your consciousness that women are being treated inferior, on an inferior basis. You're unaware of the way that the church is using its money. And by the way, there is an elite class within Mormonism, because the general authorities of the church, it just turns out their family members become general authorities of the church. And then all the business contracts with all the billions of dollars that the church brings in is sustaining this elite class with business contracts and opportunities and money. It is the general membership that's being played and used as a resource. They're getting something out of it, but they're not aware always of what they're doing, and they're working under false pretenses. And while I'm not willing to say that that's all bad and evil and worthless to the average member, they are at a minimum many of them working under false pretenses, and they are being exploited, and there is harm being done to LGBTQ people, to feminists, to intellectuals, to people that don't agree. There are marriages and families being broken up over the lack of understanding and full consent and knowledge of what's going on. And all of that's evil. And so
exactly,
I want to unite with you on condemning all of that. I'm just not at the place where I'm willing to say it all should burn down. What we need to do is make everyone aware inside, minimize the damage inside, and then maximize the well-being of those who leave.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And in terms of Mormonism, I will give you that.
Yeah.
For the Church of Scientology, I look at Scientology a bit differently than I look at Mormonism. I look at, because all of these cults are not the same as all these other cults, right? Each one individually needs to be examined and judged on its merits and lack of merits and its intentions and objectives. And this particular group, the Church of Scientology, I'm firmly, through every piece of research, every single person I've talked to, and all of the experience that I had, I firmly believe that the Church of Scientology is not an actual valid religion. I do not believe that that is what it is about. I believe Scientology was put together specifically to make money for its founder and leader, and that was originally Hubbard and is now Miscavige. And everything else around it is basically window dressing. That it happens to have the side effect that it sometimes helps people with marriage, getting off drugs, etc., is to me an accidental side effect of Scientology more so than it is its actual purpose. And just because you have a bunch of people who are being conned and believe the con doesn't make the con valid. And for me, I'm not talking about Mormonism. I'm talking about Scientology specifically here, right? I would have a different approach with Mormonism. It's been around a lot longer. There's many more believers. And the good that they do in the world can actually be seen. You can prove it. You can show it. You can show that there are charities where money goes, where people are benefiting. There are homeless people who are being helped. There's this, there's that. Scientology doesn't have any of that, right? The best they have is individual Scientologists spending their own money to go to disaster sites to help people out. And the only real help that they're offering is logistics help, because Scientology's techniques are all a bunch of pseudoscientific nonsense. So running water around, running supplies around, and creating supply chains at disaster sites, yeah, great, good work. But that's literally about the ultimate reach that Scientology has in a positive way into society. It's all about the Benjamins with Scientology, and so I would say that I would approach any destructive cult the way you're describing. I would look at the benefits and I would look at the, the cons of it, the pros and cons. And I would have to make a contextual individual judgment for that group. With the Church of Scientology, my judgment is this group is not a group that is honest or at all necessary to our society.